Hey guys, today I'm going to walk you through how to do your first Garageband assignment for 7th grade music at AISB. So you get this screen that you can see now when you do Command N on GarageBand or start a new file, or if you just open it up for the first time, you should also, and you've selected an empty project, you should get something like this. And even if you've got the older version, you still want to select the icon that has a microphone on it. Double click on it or click it once and press create. I'm going to do the double click and there's our new screen. If this comes up, just press B to get rid of it and it goes away. Also, you don't need this. Press Y to get rid of it and it's gone. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need to do is open your loops library. Here's my loops library, and what you should have done leading up to this, or perhaps you can do it now, you should select some favorite loops. As you can see, I've got 13,000 loops. That's a lot of loops to look through. So I've saved myself some trouble by favoriting some of them. So by clicking on the heart here, I can see just the loops that I've favorited. And there's still a fair few. There's 50 of them, but at least it's a little bit easier to handle. So to start my track off, I'm going to look for a percussive element, something playing percussion, and I've chosen to throw in there big maracas. So I'll just drag it into the first lane there, and because I'm using the rule of 4, I'm going to drag it out for 4 bars. And let's just have a listen to that. You know, that sounds cool, but I feel like I want something more than just that to start my song. So I'm going to double it up with bongo groove number 2, and I'll also drag that out for 4. And one of the tips that I've mentioned to you guys is using panning to help give things a sense of space. So of course you won't hear it on this recording, but trust me, if you do this yourself and put on some headphones, it'll sound really good. So what I'm going to do is pan the maracas out to the left, the bongos out to the right, and the combination of them sounds like this. And that's pretty cool. So after a few of those, I want to introduce something new. So with the whole idea of building in the rule of 4, I want to introduce something new to come in after 4 bars, but these are not going to stop. So the thing I'm going to introduce after 4 bars is going to be this one, Orchestra Harp pattern 18. So I'll just drag that out to here into it. Notice how what I did there, I just simply, where it says drag Apple loops here, I just drag it into its space. And you got to remember, what we're hoping to do here is give each sound its own track. We don't need to double up. We don't need to save space. It's fine. They can run low, way off the page. It's not a big deal. So I'm going to grab those two now. Notice how I selected both of them together. And then I go to the top right corner and pull them out for another 4 bars. So let's have a listen to what I've got so far. That's pretty cool, and I'm very happy to hear that for another 4 bars. So there it is, 1, 2, 3, yep, that's another 4 bars. And I'm going to, starting here at this point, I'm going to add a bass as well. And the bass I'm going to add is called British Blues Bass. So again, drag it into an open space. Oh look, that one's already a 4-bar loop, so I don't need to stretch that out anymore. And you notice how I'm making sure all of my loops line up with the bar line. So here's a bar line, I drag that to line up with it. Now you can hear what I've just done. I've added the bass as well. And for my next part, I'm going to introduce a new beat as well. And I'm thinking about the one called Sparks Fly, which sounds like this. So once again, I'm going to put that there, drag it out so it's 4, and get all of these extended out to 4 as well. So now what we get is this. Oh, there's the bass. And so on. Whoops, I forgot to drag those out all the way. So there, that's all the way there. And like I said in class, I'm just going to keep on building. So the next one, I'm going to get another beat in there. And this one I'm going to pan off to the left, I think, just to create some more space. This one's called chronograph set beat. And again, I'll put it down here, drag it out to 4, drag out everything else to 4. Let's have a listen. You know, I like it, but it's a little bit loud. I'm going to make it a little bit softer. Let's see how it sounds. That's pretty cool. So let's have a listen from the start now. I reckon I'm going to add one more thing. I found before this great sound of a Japanese dulcimer. A Chinese dulcimer, I mean to say, sorry. And I'm just going to slide it in there. Extend it out a little bit. And of course, you know the story. Drag all these. Extend them out. And this is the sound I've just added. And I might pan that one out as well, off to the right, just to create more space. And now I'm starting to think more about the structure. There's my inverted triangle, which gives me a strong sense of building. So you can hear that as I bring in new things, I don't take things out. But I want to try to take out, as the sparks fly beat comes in, so around here, I'm going to try taking out these two. So here's a little trick. What I can do is select just this one and this one. I use the Shift key to select. Put the playhead here. And I'm going to use Command T. T is for trim. And when I cut that, now I can delete that and delete that. So now listen to the effect. When Sparks Fly comes in, my first two percussion loops are going to disappear. So you can see some things stay the same, such as these, the orchestra harp pattern and the blues bass. And then when that beat comes in, those percussive elements disappear. But what I want to do also is have those percussive elements come back towards the end. So what I can do is I can find them again in here. Big maracas. There it is. And I'm going to put it there. Drag it out a little bit. And bongo groove right there. Drag it out a little bit. Whoops. And I reckon I'll get this going out here too, and this going out here too, and so we'll just create some interesting different textures. Have a listen. So it's kind of like going back to the introduction again. And then I think for the end, I'm going to put back in my British blues bass. Oh, I don't need to do that. It's already there, so I can just drag it out. Notice I'm running out of space here. I'm just going to take this triangle that's up here and just give me a little bit more room. There we go. So I'll take my British blues bass. I want my Sparks Fly. Where's that? There it is. Put that in there. I reckon I'll get my chronograph set again. And lastly, the Chinese dulcimer, the Jiangnan Dreams dulcimer. And so you can hear the effect that we're going to have is making kind of like a drop. the last thing I want to do, just to sort of make it really cool, is add a couple of drum breaks in there. You don't have to do this. This is just stuff that I like to do. So I need to make a cut here, like that. I'm going to make another cut here, using that Command T feature. Command T. And I'm going to delete all these little bits. So I've left a break right now. And I'm going to fill it with a drum fill called this one, Crowd Groove Fill. Have a listen to this. So if I throw that in, just in that gap, it's going to fill the gap nicely. Have a listen. That's pretty cool. You know what else might be cool? Would be to put it at the just before the breakdown as well. So if I Command T, trim all those, delete all that, and drag that into here as well. Now have a listen to the effect that I get here. And there's one other thing I want to show you guys. These things are called boomer effects. There's heaps of them. And they can be really useful. Watch this. If I drag it down into here to help me with the change. Here's another little trick that most people don't know. If you double click on that sound and then click on here where it says reverse playback, it makes it go backwards. Now I'm just going to drag that right up to the end. There it is. Now have a listen to this effect. That's pretty cool. I'm just going to drag this out over this to make the break here seem pretty cool. And then for the ending, I'm going to drag these two loops back to here. Oops. Oh, I need to do this one in the bottom corner there. Get that out of the way. And then I'll just end like that. So let's have a listen to the whole thing, and that'll be pretty much my whole assignment. Here we go. Oh, also check the time at the end. You can see, if you click on here, beats and time. You see I'm ending about 1:09, which is right on the mark for what I'm looking for, somewhere between 60 and 90 seconds. Here we go. And that's the end of my track. So then I would go up here, share, export song to disk, make sure that it's an MP3. I don't want an AAC or an AAF. And I would call it my name and the first project, and then I would submit it through Google Classroom. I hope that was clear. Enjoy.